Oh, check this out. Okay, so we have a Hero's Return banner here. Why is Brave Ike on this again? Come on, man. How many banners are they going to put this guy on? All right, let's head over to the Summon tab. Let's take a look at this banner, see if it's any good. Now, I would like to, actually, before we take a look at the banner, let's show the calendar real quick, because I would like to inform you guys that there is a new Heroes banner coming up very shortly. So, yeah, new Heroes Summoning Event 4/17, which is in only a couple of days from right now. Let me take a look at the date on my phone real quick. Okay, so today is the 14th. I believe we're going to get the trailer tomorrow night then, right? And then the next reset after that, it'll be the banner already. So, yeah, we're getting a new Heroes Summoning Event. That being the case, it's probably not a good idea to spend orbs on this. And even if you were planning to summon on this banner, it's going to be up for 13 days. So you might as well at least wait for the trailer before you summon. So now that we've got all the semantics out of the way, is this even a good banner? Well, I see Brave Harmonic Ike just taking up the entire bottom half there. How many banners has this guy came back on since he's released? It's been a lot. And according to the JP summoning metrics that they released, he is the second most summoned character of the entire last year. Despite coming out in November, by the way, the very end of the year. So, I don't know if they're trying to make that happen again this year or what, but like, to put it into perspective, actually, if you've been summoning on every banner that he's been on and you've sparked for him every time, chances are real good you probably got him at +10. And we got him for free for winning the Hero Rises event. So, like, +10 Harmonic Ike stocks have got to be pretty high overall across the entire game. I'm sure a lot of people have got him at +10 if you're just, like, constantly summoning to try to get copies. So, yeah, may not be the best idea in the world. It's not like he's a bad unit. He's obviously pretty good. But, I don't know. Let's take a look at this banner here. So, we might as well start with green because I've been talking about this guy the whole time. So, Harmonic Brave Ike, he's a pretty solid unit. He's a friendly little guy. He's good at just about every role. He's a pretty solid Omni-Tank. He's not like an unkillable Omni-Tank, and certain offensive units, especially if they've got Hardy Bearing, can just plow right through him. But he can hang in there. He can hold his own. What I like about him, though, is that he can mix it up. He's not just like a tank. He can actually player phase. He's got Brutal Tempest out the gates. He's got a nice player phase. He can get the Edelgard ring to get another action, and then he can pop his Harmonic button to get another action. So he is one of those multi-action options units, and with the amount of free actions and just how good he is in combat when he initiates, like, it's hard to say that he's a bad unit, despite the fact that I'm very pissed off at him for winning the Hero Rises. So, as far as fodder is concerned, he's got Patience, he's got Brutal Tempest, and Warrior's Blow. All of those are pretty good skills. I can't deny it. Like, any decent unit you're building up, Patience is great for Arena, for scoring, and for your, like, bulky armored units that are just there for scoring, like Raphael, Marnie, the Grima, Demote. Like, all those guys appreciate having Patience. So, that's pretty good. And then Warrior's Blow, it's the one you go for if your unit doesn't have enough speed to get Duelist Blow. So, yeah, nothing really bad to say about him. He's accompanied by Attuned Tharja, who's actually still pretty solid of a unit. One of the better attuned heroes for sure. She's got Crux Echo, which is not bad. Deadly Miasma, which has aged a lot better than when it came out, just considering how much of an emphasis we have on terrain right now. So, having Deadly Miasma is great. Speed and Res Havoc's still pretty solid. I don't know if it's the best go-to B skill anymore, but it's still like one of the nice debuff ones you can have. And then she just has Ice Wall out the gates, and she neutralizes enemy specials, I believe. So there's a lot of good things you can do with this Tharja. So green is actually a pretty good color share. All right, let's take a look at red up next. So we've got Machua over here, who has Arcane Renegade, Gust, Distant Bonus Doubler, and Attack and Speed Faith. I gotta be honest, it's real unfortunate because I feel like her kit aged out really quick. Gust is not really used anymore in favor of stuff like Comet, Arc Rival, or honestly a lot of the new stuff that's coming out. And then there's also Gale Force Mist, which is really good. So Gust kind of came and went. Distant Bonus Doubler as well kind of came and went. Not really optimal A skill anymore. There's definitely better options. And then Attack and Speed Faith, which is okay. It's still a solid option for the C skill, but it really depends on what you want to go with in the Echo slot. Like, if you want to go for a Tempest Echo, then you don't need to run a Tempest skill in the C slot, and then stuff like Attack Speed Faith can come in handy. But if you want to do it in reverse, and you want to run a Tempest C skill and then run a different Echo skill, like, I don't know, Null C Echo, or one of those really unique effects you can get, then it may be a little better to do it that way. So it really just comes down to what sort of Echo skill you want to go for, and then you decide what C skill you want to go for. And Arcane Renegade is okay, but it's from last gen. It doesn't have the 25 true damage and the 15 true DR. So it's still a last gen arcane weapon. Can't really recommend those anymore, especially not when the new generation arcane weapons are so much better. Okay, she is accompanied by Noir, who is also a last-gen arcane hero. Her weapon doesn't have 25 true damage or 15 DR, so yeah, that is an RIP. It does have, both of these weapons, though, they do have scaling on AoEs, which is nice. Like, you get the true damage augmentation on an AoE if you've got one. But up until the point where they decide to give us a new AoE special, I think that's kind of irrelevant. So until we get, like, Blazing Wind Plus or whatever they've got coming up for the upgrade to Blazing Specials, I would say just stick to the new generation arcane weapons. And then she's got Attack Speed Hex Edge and Speed Taker 4, which are both not really the best options. So Red is a little unfortunate, although it does have 2 arcane heroes. So if you've already decked them out and given them some good fodder, then you can't really go wrong. All right, let's take a look at Blue up next. Okay, so we have the Entwined Sharena, a unit who I actually like quite a bit. She's a nice option for, obviously, Gale Force teams, Aether Rays offense teams. That's where you're going to find the most use for her. And she's basically just a melee version of the Brave Sharena, and I do enjoy using that Brave Sharena. I think the Brave one might be a little better now, though, because it's a little tougher to break through the melee save units now, like the physical saves, because of the amount of support they're just getting. It gets really crazy. So for Sharena to be able to power through the physical save or the near save is not as likely as it is for Brave Sharena to power through a magic save. So that's just my opinion there. I think the tables have turned a little. When this Sharena came out, I actually did like her more than the Brave one. But now that the meta has shifted a little, I think the Brave one is a little bit more of a better fit. So all of that is a long story just to say that I like both of these units. Both Sharenas are very good. This one is no exception, and she does give you a bouquet if you need it. It's not one of the better effects, but the bouquet is something. So until they decide to make the Ascended Floret more accessible, this is kind of the next best thing that we've got. So she does have that, and then for fodder, she's got Arc Rival and Assault Impetus, which is pretty good. We did get the Momentum Echo, though, which is kind of just all of these Impetus and Momentum skills all just as an Echo skill, which is kind of nuts. So you could free up your B skill, run something else like Potent Assault or whatever you would want to give her. So yeah, just some things to consider. And also, obviously, Attack Speed Excel, not quite as good as some of the recent A skills, although I don't think you can run the recent stuff on Cavalry. Like, are they able to inherit Blue Sky Gust? They have to be, right? Because I think the Arena Fur has Blue Sky, right? And then Emblem Erica has Blue Sky. So they definitely do get Blue Sky Gust, actually. So I'm just going to stop myself right there. Yes, Blue Sky Gust is available for this unit, so XL is out the door. And then Arc Rival, which is very good, obviously. So our first blue unit, very good. Then we have the true Brave Soren refine. They decided to just release him as a different unit. So Arcane Soren, pretty good. He does have a new generation arcane weapon. 25 true damage, 15 true DR. There you go. Like, that's all you need to know. So Arcane Rex Bolt, pretty solid. Ice Wall, obviously good. Attack Res Havoc and Pre-Employ, both pretty good. The main thing you're going to want to do with this guy is just have him set up somebody else as a save unit, which is pretty much the way that all these Soren units play. Just turn somebody else into a save and you're good to go. Him being infantry, of course, means he's a good supporter by doing that, because he can give you a save and then also give you a Canto Curb option in the process. Very valuable thing to have. So, yeah, I think blue is actually... Is blue the best color? Is blue better than green? It's kind of tough. They're probably about equal, I would say. I think Ike and Tharja have a little bit more value and relevance at the moment. So, as units, I think green is probably better, but there's definitely a lot of value on blue there. And then finally, on Colorless, we've got the Aided Yunaka, who's been on, like, every one of these banners. She does give you the kitty accessory, which is pretty cute. But outside of that, I'm not really that big of a fan of this Yunaka anymore. I do prefer the ninja one now, and I don't even have the ninja one for that matter. So, like, I don't have this Yunaka either. I don't have either of the Warp Master Yunakas that just warp in and have pass and all that stuff, which is pretty good. But we literally just... Hold on. We just got the baby Edelgard. She's got Disarm Trap, and then she's got 3 actions counting the duo button, and then on top of that, she's got reduction of enemy damage to 1. So, if I'm running a unit like that, if I'm running something like that for Aetheroid's offense to clear traps, I'd much rather go for that than Yunaka here, who has full disarm. But it is what it is. Active Lookout, still very good skill for Inheritance and Lethality. I think the Dagger units are probably going to get their version of the true DR and crazy amount of damage special eventually. And it's probably going to be some crazy upgrade to lethality. I don't know what they would even call it, but it's probably coming up soon. So just keep an eye out for that. And then she is color sharing with Arcane Layla over here, who has a very, very dated arcane weapon. Yeah, okay, so hers is the same gen as Arcane Renegade and those weapons, but it's not really premium anymore. And we literally got Arcane Slicer, which is better from the... I think it was the latest Arcane Soth. So that's just a better weapon. She has lethality as well. She's got Lookout Force, and then she has Attack Speed Finish 4, which finish skills have not been the very best options in a long time. She is able to inflict undefended on opponents, but there's so many units that can do that, and a lot of units that are kind of better at doing it too. Like Emblem doing it in 3 rows and 3 columns is kind of nuts. Or just 3 columns, I think it is, which is going to target a lot more than the nearest enemy, which, if you can target multiple units with undefended, that's what you want to do. You want to be able to hit the units in the back row. Unlike Elm, who he can only hit undefended on the unit in front. And I believe this Layla is the same way. I believe she can only hit undefended on a unit that's in front. Yeah, inflicts undefended and status preventing counterattacks, which is Flash, on the closest foes through the next actions. And the closest foe in this case would be, like, whoever is in front. I think it changed to 2 spaces, though, right? Yeah, it does, actually. Inflicts the... Or, it doesn't chain the undefended. It chains the Flash effect. Yeah, so that's no bueno. If you want to chain undefended, too. Because you want to hit undefended on the people in the back row. If you're just hitting undefended on somebody who's in front and they've got Heimdallr, it's a complete moot point because you can't attack that unit anyway. So, yeah, a very long rant just to say this Layla is kind of meh. And I would say that's pretty much it for this banner. So let's go ahead and go for our freebie here. What do I actually want? I think I'm going to go for blue. I would like to get Sharena or Soren. I don't have either of them. Okay, and that is neither of them. Hopefully you guys were able to get much better luck on your freebie. And once again, I reiterate, do not summon on this banner, at least not until we see the trailer, which should be coming up tomorrow. And even then, this is not like the craziest banner. If you've been merging up your Ike, maybe. Like, if you've already got a lot of merges on Ike and you want to just finish him off, then I guess go for it. But... yeah, all the other arcane heroes on this banner are just going to come down to what you've already given them as fodder. If you've given them some good stuff that's very recent, then by all means knock yourself out. But for the average John Dokkan, or not John Dokkan, John Fay, the average John Fay doesn't need to worry about summoning on this banner. So that's going to wrap us up for this video, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed it. This is your boy Tacho signing out. And I will catch y'all again on the flip side.